After only a few weeks after I've purchased my copy of PUBG, I regret to say that I'm already getting a little tired of it. Now, there's nothing really wrong with the game. It's a fun game with a great concept. The gameplay keeps you on your toes and you have to try and take out the other 99 players while avoiding the red zones and the ever-shrinking border. The game keeps you on the move and you have to constantly be on the lookout. However, despite the obvious positives, I'm really starting to notice the negatives. Like how the game can quickly change into a jogging simulator and how I can easily get sniped from across the map by a guy that's lucky enough to get an 8x scope. The gameplay is becoming very repetitive for me, and it's a shame because the game is still early in its development and it's absolutely teething with potential. There is so much that could be added to the game. That's why I've created this list of 5 things I'd like to see added to Playerunknowns Battleground. This list won't be in any particular order, and I'm not saying that everything on here should 100% be added. They're just fun little ideas which I think could add to the experience. Number 5. More weapon variety. The game at the moment doesn't really offer that many weapons. Sure, there are a few variants on the rifles and shotguns, but the play styles are all offer a very similar experience. Give us more things to play with and offer us more game styles. Give us trip mines or bear traps so you can create a makeshift fortification. Give us explosive weapons so we can flush out the guy who's hiding around the corner or the guys that are stealthily shuffling through the wheat fields. We already have Molotov cocktails, so why not take it one step further and give us a flamethrower? You don't get much range out of it, but at least anyone near you will be toast. I've often felt that instead of shooting at each other from afar, more up close and personal duels would be a lot more engaging. I'd also like to see melee combat improved upon. Melee in its current state is a bit wonky as its hit registration is frustratingly hit and miss. Melee could be very great and offer some really unique game styles, like stealth kills if you can sneak up behind someone, give the pesky snipers a reason to look over their shoulder. Given the Battle Royale and Hunger Games theme of the game, it would be great to see more things to be afraid of. A guy with a shotgun running from one side while another is running at you with a chainsaw. Number 4. Medieval game modes. Expanding on what I was saying about melee combat, wouldn't it be fun if you were dropped into the battleground with nothing but a mace or an axe? I think that a melee only game mode could really lead into some brutal kills and force players to get creative with how they play. And not just melee either, we already have a crossbow in the game, why not give us some more medieval ranged weapons like spears or throwing knives? Many games already have a medieval game mode in them, games like Team Fortress 2 or Chivalry are a few examples. It wouldn't have to be limited to medieval either, more game modes in general would be very welcome. One idea I had would be like a Mad Max style game mode where you can only kill while driving or something. The driving in PUBG is already loads of fun and easily be expanded upon, with more vehicle types or weapons that are already attached to the vehicles. Oh, on a side note, please can it be made that we can shoot while driving the car? Every driving game can already do that. Number 3. Smaller game modes. As much as I love the base game, I'd love the option to be able to just play something a bit smaller scale. Just quickly jump into a game for 15 minutes and then get out. If smaller maps intended for games between 10 and 20 people could be added, I think that would be a nice extra feature. Just an arena mode or something would be great for more casual gamers. I used to play a lot of the Minecraft survival games and I really enjoyed the playstyle it offered. Me and my friend would quickly jump into a game, get a few kills and have some easy fun. I do enjoy the big games in PUBG, but it can last up to 35 minutes a game and half of that is just me jogging to the safety zone. I think that smaller maps with less people would create a more immediate action and would be more fun for more impatient gamers like myself. Number 2. More environmental hazards. One thing I loved about the Minecraft survival games was that there were hazards everywhere, and getting killed by another player was the least of your worries. Most of the maps were littered with bottomless pits, lava traps, tripwires, and many more. PUBG already has an environmental hazard in the form of its red zones, but in their current state I feel like they're way too easy to escape from. If PUBG could add a few extra features and become a bit more Hunger Games-esque, then it could really add to the chaos of the game. Perhaps a few landmines in the wheat fields, sharks in the water so you can't just swim across, maybe some rabid dogs in the small towns. Or maybe we can have more than just the red zones. Maybe we can have zones filled with poison gas or smog. Again, there's just so much potential. Another idea I had was to make the environment destructible, something similar to Battlefield where a lot of the environment can actually be destroyed. And number 1. More punishing force fields. When I first started playing PUBG, I always made sure to stay within the force field, as I assumed that if I strayed, I would simply die. But this isn't the case at all. The main incentive of the game is nowhere near as punishing as it should be. The player's health simply trickles down very slowly, and they have loads of time to get to safety. This has left the force field appearing quite trivial and poses as a minor annoyance rather than a major threat. I honestly believe that if you stumble through the force field, then you should be killed a lot quicker. And that's my list. If you have any other ideas for what Playerunknowns Battlegrounds should add to the game, please leave them in the comments. Hit that like button if you really enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I've been Heisendyne, Thanks very much for watching. Bye!